I just saved hundreds of dollars by switching to Geico. I feel like I'm on top of the world.
Disclaimer, you will not be transported to the top of the world. In the unlikely event you find yourself at the Arctic Circle, seek shelter from the elements immediately to avoid frostbite and or hypothermia. Geico will not be responsible if you find yourself in a cave or crevasse with a lonely abominable snowman, who in all likelihood will force you to play games including but not limited to Go Fish, charades, Chinese checkers, or his personal favorite, Red Rover, send Yeti on over. Geico is not liable for any damages, either physical or emotional.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Don Le Batard.
So I keep reading about whales and dolphins and blah, blah, blah. Then I stumble upon this great animal called the narwhal, which is essentially a unicorn whale. A unicorn whale.
What?
Google it.
Stugats.
Oh, my God. Narwhal.
Thank you.
Look at it. Life changer. Narwhal.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch to Progressive can save an average of $620. Check them out today at Progressive.com. Guest on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Here's your SportsCenter update. UCLA quarterback Josh Rosen and USC quarterback Sam Darnold are both declaring for the NFL Draft. I'm reporting this. The Browns are going to take both of them.
Yes.
Bill Belichick has told his players that despite the blizzard that's expected in the New England area, the Patriots will hold its final practices during its playoff bye week. No excuses for being late. Moron.
This guy.
Don't do that.
Sorry. No excuses for being late. I'm sorry.
If he needs it, you got to give it to him. He's helping Bill.
He is displaying behavior, that of a moron. That's all I'm saying. Save it. We're good?
You
kick, save, and a beauty.
No, it's not a kick, save, and a beauty.
Nailed it.
Here's the thing.
Nailed it.
I mean, you'd be late. So what's going to happen? Okay, Tom Brady's going to be late. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Nothing.
What are you going to do?
You're going to look angry.
Gronk's late. What are you going to do?
Crusty red beak, angry.
Moron.
It's like going to be like,
for the love of God.
I meant it's someone who's displaying moronic behavior.
It's like 14 feet of snow or something coming up there. And he's trying to be all tough in the media. He's showing out. And everyone says, oh, all he cares about is winning. No, he cares about his image.
You tell him.
He's trying to this is this image that he's cultivated, and he loves it. Good job, Stu.
I'd like to hear the question, though. Like, what does happen if someone important's late?
What do you mean, what happens?
No, but what
they start.
But what really happens?
They wait until Tom Brady arrives, and then they start practice.
And finally, Nielsen's 2017 year-end report provided us a chart that showed consumer trends and behaviors that shaped the year in music. And for the first time ever, hip-hop surpassed rock and roll as music's most consumed genre. According to Nielsen's hip-hop and R&B accounted for 8 of the 10 most popular artists based on total consumption. Drake and Kendrick Lamar claim the top 2 spots with Future, The Weeknd, Eminem, and Lil Uzi Vert.
Uzi?
The hell is that? Among the other acts.
Hold on a second.
I deserve it.
Uzi. It's spelled properly.
So how do you say it? Uzi Vert?
It's an Uzi. It's like
Lil Uzi Vote?
Yeah, there it is.
I got Vert wrong.
Hit him with it again.
Anyway, Uzi was among the other acts cracking the top 10. Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran were the only.
For the love of God, man. I don't know what to do with that.
You got the
I don't
white
know
one.
what to do with that. What am I supposed to do with that?
How does he pronounce
Ed
it?
Sheeran?
When he was popular, I knew his name.
This is as close to equality as we've ever been as a country.
Ed Sheeran.
There's no white and black here with me, man. I just can't read.
Wait a minute. We have reached the moment of harmony in America, finally. It's the whitest and the blackest we've ever been together merged. He can get both names equally wrong, whether you're Ed Sheeran or Uzi Vote. What did he call him? Uzi Vote. Uzi Vert.
No, it started with Uzi. Lil Uzi Vote.
Wait a minute. How do you make...
Uzi Vote.
Ed Sheeran.
Well, what is it?
You made him like Ben Vereen.
I'm tired of him.
You're tired of him. You just
this
said
guy.
if he was
Here's
so
what happened.
popular.
He came out of the gates on fire. I loved his first couple of songs. He was fantastic, and now all he's done since then is latch on to these Swifties because he's befriended Taylor Swift, and that's where he gets his popularity.
Why are you mad at that? That's what you did with your career.
Yeah, I latched on to you. You're right.
He stole music from TLC.
For all the
stealing from TLC. Crook.
Why are you mad?
Well, maybe he's not a crook. He just displays crook behavior.
How do you play? How do you pronounce the last name?
Sheeran.
All right, Sheeran. Good job.
Thief.
For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to the Sports Center on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
All right, so Trump is going to the national championship game, and Kendrick Lamar is performing. That'll be interesting.
It hasn't been confirmed by the White House, but Atlanta has sort of announced that they're working with the Secret Service on this.
That'll do it. And so while it's not being reported as official yet, this is an interesting confluence of cultures because he is going to his base, except Atlanta's not quite his base.
Yeah, I played for the Falcons for one season, and when I got there, one of the first things that someone told me was like, as soon as you step outside of Atlanta, you're in Georgia, which is an interesting way to look because when you think of Atlanta, you don't think of Georgia necessarily.
Atlanta is black, Georgia and Alabama are not. Or, well, no, Alabama, parts of Alabama are, right?
But you're saying Georgia, the states of Georgia and Alabama are his base.
Right.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
right. But that city of Atlanta. Certainly.
Right. Atlanta itself, not so much.
My Sunday show, The Morning Roast with Mina Kimes and Clinton Yates, we have a group chat going, and we had this conversation about what's the expectation of Kendrick Lamar because he's a very political and smart performer.
Oh, there's no way he does that performance without doing something.
Especially with the president there.
No way that Kendrick Lamar does. Does Disney want what's coming next on this? Mm-mm. Does Disney want any part of what's coming next where the Trump is going, like America, it's again, America coming to sports. Trump is coming to the national championship game. I don't think we've seen a lot of sitting presidents do that. And
I feel like we have, no?
National championship football game? Do I have this wrong? I don't think of that as an event that presidents go to. I don't feel like I've ever seen, since the days of Notre Dame when college football was something different.
Right.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Presidents go to major events. I don't know if whether they go to national championship football games is worth getting hung up on or not, but I think this president is unique. This artist is unique. This moment is unique. That being in that city, in that state, like I'm intrigued by what the possibilities are for that halftime.
I mean, Kendrick Lamar is an interesting choice. You could be safe with Kendrick Lamar as a popular rapper without Trump being there. But once Trump makes an appearance, you are now inviting something from Kendrick Lamar. He's really creative. Like, there is no way that Kendrick Lamar does that quietly before Trump. If we're doing Emperor Coliseum stuff and he's coming in and lording over a college football system that is, black bodies and injustice being paid in education when we don't pay Nick Saban in education, and he's lording over it. You got Kendrick Lamar performing. He's not going to do it quietly.
Well, Kendrick Lamar, he has his own base. He has his fan base. If he didn't do anything, if Trump is sitting there and Lamar didn't do anything to address Trump or anything going on, how would his fan base react to that? Would they be disappointed?
He has so many nicknames. And you just went with the one that I've never, ever heard anybody call him in my whole life. No one calls him Lamar. King Kendrick. Like, there's lots of them.
K-Dot.
Well, anyway, so I don't think his base, I think people will be disappointed. But I think that he is crafty and smart. I've listened to Kendrick Lamar songs a year or years after they first came out and caught new parts, new lyrical allusions. So I think it's possible that he could do something that is not blatantly offensive to people, but does accomplish his goal.
Oh, but this is not the part that I find interesting about it. The part that I find interesting about it is as Disney and Trump work together to put together this bogus national championship game that is a made-for-television experience, that as this is happening, who's going to put the pressure on Kendrick Lamar coming from some white power high up somewhere? Hey, Kendrick, you're not going to do anything, are you?
Paul Feinbaum.
Let's hear some Feinbaum sound as he continues to rip me and UCF and everyone else because he's SEC biased and he doesn't understand how the championship between Georgia and Alabama is fraudulent because they only play football in this one region of the country. No one else is allowed to be good, according to Feinbaum.
It's not like going to Walmart and buying a national championship. You have to actually win one to claim one. And you guys, I know all the media, Le Batard, Stu Gatz, all these other folks out there are slobbering all over UCF. But the point is, you beat Auburn. You didn't win a national championship. You won the Peach Bowl. Be happy with it.
How'd I get dragged into this?
You want to be. What are you kidding?
Thrilled.
You always get mad when I'm dragged out there. Yeah. You always get mad when I'm the one that you like. We haven't even covered how mad Stugatz is about the Manfred interview.
Oh, forget it. Jeez. For crying out loud, one media publication out there just put my name on the article. I was there too. I asked questions, hard hitting questions.
He did.
That Dan fed me. Because I've latched onto him, like Ed has to Taylor. I ain't trying that last name again.
Try it again. It's easy.
Swift.
Don Le Batard.
Oscar Robinson had 41 triple-doubles back in 61-62. 41.
Stugatz.
It's Robertson, but...
Big O.
Okay, but...
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugatz on ESPN Radio.
Mike is totally overwhelmed. He's got too many crusades going on, and so the way that he is producing this radio show is just to shout at me, from behind a mountain of 49 boxes of T-shirts for Central Florida, the rightful champion of the college football universe, is, hey, Dan, I have some Jeopardy sound. And he's been saying it for 2 days, and it's all he's got, and he's weary, and his eyes are bloodshot, and it's just like, I got some Jeopardy sound. That's how he's helping. Because he's just got to, he's helping a great deal. The staff is helping a great deal putting together a parade and with UCF.
They're doing the jobs of 30 people,
yes.
And they're unrelated jobs.
Yes.
Like they're jobs they've never done before.
Community organizers.
This is above and beyond. Like when producer jobs come open, nowhere in the description does it say parade planner.
That's why after this, I'm not sure that he needs to stay in radio or TV. Like I think head coach of a football team, president of the United States, something that requires a lot more delegating than just a meager TV radio.
Oh, shut up and play the Jeopardy sound.
Courtesy of Sony Pictures Television.
A song by Coolio from Dangerous Minds goes back in time to become a 1667 John Milton classic. Nick.
What is Gangster's Paradise Lost?
Yes.
No.
And Lisa, I was about to say you have enough money to take the lead away from Nick, but you don't even have to respond to take the lead away from Nick because our judges have reevaluated one of your responses a few moments ago, Nick. You said gangsters instead of gangstas on that song by Coolio. So we take $3,200 away from you, so you are now in second place. Lisa, you have the lead, as you can see.
That is ridiculous. Alex Trebek is the guy. If Trebek approves the answer to the question, then it's good.
Oh, white privilege. Wait a minute.
Nope. I like that ruling. That's a proper ruling. We had this sound on HQ the other day, and there's a big difference between words that end in A and ER, and Nick needed to learn that. Stu needs to learn that. Everyone, the words have different meanings. They end in A and ER. They're not the same word.
But what I'm saying is, if you're the host of the show,
so now you're teaching me about A's and ERs, Stu.
I'm teaching
This is the first beef in the history of our beloved relationship.
I don't want to do this.
Well, you are now in the position here where you are giving Alex Trebek power over the N-word just because he's Alex Trebek.
No. I guarantee you there was a black guy in his ear telling him.
I'm definitely out.
Look at all the white people in the other room. Roy's sitting there laughing, and all the white people in the other room. Wait, what N-word? What do you mean the N-word? There was no N-word in that Jeopardy question.
Oh, there's an N-word in everything.
Gangster starts with a G. It's a fine.
Did I say it? What did I say? Who are you finding? Trebek?
No, it's talking about the N-word, the G, come on.
You didn't get my joke, fine.
I didn't get your joke, so it's a fine.
Yep, absolutely. I had that. Can we do retroactive fines? Yeah. He didn't get my jokes from earlier.
Hold on a
second.
2 fines. Did you understand what Dominique was doing there when he was saying there's a big difference between ER and A, or did you miss that what he was doing there?
Gangster. Duh. Did you?
It's not Nangster, no. Next up.
You be careful.
Why?
Just because you be careful.
Oh, no, I don't have to be careful. I can say it any way I want, whenever I want, on any platform I so choose. You think I can? Watch me.
I think you shouldn't. I think you shouldn't. I think you should not.
I don't need this.
He doesn't need it right now.
Okay. For you, Mike. For you.
Adam, that's taking one for the team. You don't need to push that particular boundary on Disney Radio. Thank you. We don't need it. We're trying to put together a parade for the champions of college football.
I've been in trouble for doing and saying some things inappropriate on TV before, but I did get away with talking about Nagandis in Paradise or in Paris when I was on SportsCenter. I made a reference to a song, and Nagandi was on air. Called it Nagandis in Paris. I was very proud of that.
Okay, and you should be proud of that. But you're not going to be proud of what I say next. Have you appeared on SportsCenter since doing any of these things? Because I believe Dominique Foxworth got kicked off of SportsCenter because he was talking about sex toys on SportsCenter. I believe he hasn't been on since.
You are absolutely. So the Nagandis in Paris. So I had a few weeks.
Please be careful. You're scaring me because your comfort around this word is not the rest of ours.
So comfortable.
And if you're scared, imagine how I feel.
I know, right? Just be careful because I think he's going to step in it here and just be a little careful. Please.
No. So yeah, I had a long stretch of saying kind of borderline things on SportsCenter, and they kept rewarding me. And they was like, "Hey, how about you do 2 spots a week?" And I was like, "Sure." So I was doing 2 SportsCenters a week, and then the sex toy thing came up. SportsCenter hasn't returned my call.
Well, tell the people what the sex toy. Are we allowed to talk about? Well, it's
probably not.
It's too late now.
Okay,
it's too late now.
Oh, this might be my last appearance on the show.
Okay, but why were we talking about sex toys on SportsCenter? It begs the question.
Because there was a sex toy, and this was when the Mets situation happened. There's a sex toy in one of the lockers, and so then I told a story about that related to sex toys for my NFL career, and I thought it was a safe space because we were talking about sex toys, but I guess the story that I told on the, 9 a.m. SportsCenter when kids are getting ready to go to school was a little bit inappropriate.
What was your crime, though? The specifics of your crime?
The specifics? I don't know. No one ever spoke to me, so I heard that there was a lot of commotion around this, but no one ever called me and said, hey.
Mike, what's the matter? Mike, now we're dealing with something else. I want to know what's going on in that back room.
Well, they're uncomfortable. That's what's going on.
Which part are they uncomfortable with?
Except me.
I bet Matt Hasselbeck could have gotten away with the sex toy story.
In that back, though.
Can we just play a bunch of sounds of Stugatz mispronouncing things so we can collect our thoughts? He called him Ed Sheeran, and I don't remember what he called Uzi Vert, but it wasn't Uzi Vert.
Called him Uzi Vote.
Okay, so
you called him Shireen. Fine.
And now, the SUI nominees for Best Stugatz Mispronunciation.
Unfair.
Warm.
Many of my friends.
Soliciting.
Soliciting.
Totality.
Superstitious.
Coach.
I
think that.
That's
Peanut. Steak sauce.
Sauce.
Histrionics.
Got
over.
Get out.
Refund. Sample size. Martial arts.
Martian app.
Iron. Job.
Don Le Batard.
Deion Sanders is the best to ever do it. I think we've talked to you before briefly. I don't know how. At one point, you had gone public saying you had a sex addiction, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Stugatz.
No, that wasn't me. That was another guy. Ain't no sex addiction. I love sex just as much as you love sex. Ain't no addiction. You like I'm a sexaholic or something? You try to get a confession out of me.
I feel like I've talked to you about that before.
No, that wasn't me. That was the other Sanders. That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugatz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guest on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Here's your SportsCenter update. UCLA quarterback Josh Rosen and USC quarterback Sam Darnold are both declaring for the NFL draft, and I'm reporting the Browns are taking both of them. Bill Belichick has told his players that despite the blizzard that's expected in the New England area, the Patriots will hold its final practice during its playoff bye week. No excuses for being late. Even you, Brady. And finally, Egypt's top cleric has issued a fatwa against Bitcoin.
What did you just do? Did you make it
I made it French.
A French word?
For all the latest headlines, and let's move it on. For all the latest headlines and information, tune to the Sports Center.
Wait a minute. Did you just do a Trey Wingo?
Fatwa.
Moving on.
No, what he does.
No, we're moving on.
Fatwa. I asked Mike before.
No, what
I said
are
it wrong
you doing?
again.
It's not. It's a fatwa.
So the T is pronounced, so it's fatwa?
Oh, it's just like you are emphasizing the final syllable unnecessarily.
All right, moving on.
Let's play.
Trey's development into a radio host has been fascinating because I listen every day in my ride in, and I don't know if Trey had any experience doing radio before he started doing the show with Golic, but it's been fascinating to hear him.
What do you mean he did the show?
Well, he did the show with, I'm saying he had like a permanent radio show.
Okay.
However, I think he was more of a television guy. And it's funny to hear him pick up on, like, he's definitely listened to some radio shows and has heard some kind of generic stuff that you're supposed to say, because he'll say, rolling on a Thursday. And it's just funny. Like, it is laugh out loud funny in my car to hear Trey do this, to pick up on what other radio hosts are saying as transitions to move on. Moving on a Wednesday. And I want him to do it in a way that is so over the top that he's actually mocking it. But I haven't been able to get him there yet because I'm sending him text left.
I haven't been able to get him there yet. What are you're telling Trey Wingo how to do his job?
I mean, this dude is a pro in his area.
I'm coaching. That's all.
It's like, it's like if Jerry Rice called you and said, let me tell you about how to be a receiver.
It's not like that at all.
Exactly.
How is Trey Wingo receiving these phone calls or these texts from Stugatz telling Trey Wingo, polished broadcaster?
It's coaching, Dan, / sabotaging.
Well, I know you're angling for that job.
I don't know about that.
Well, you've been angling. There's been the whiff.
I never angled.
You're always, Guillermo, put it on the poll. Is Stugatz always angling?
I angle. But really, this is what it got down to. You don't want to be the guy that replaces the guy. You want to be the guy that replaces the guy that replaces the guy.
Oh.
I'm not saying that's the case here. Rolling on.
I mean, I've seen this from the distance for a while. I'm not allowed to be surprised if I walk into the bedroom and Stugatz is there having sex with Golic. Wait a minute. Let me rephrase that. What I'm saying is I've seen him make his way into the Golic family.
I think you're allowed to be surprised if that happens.
And I can't be surprised if one day he leaves me for Golic.
Well, if they're having sex, you're allowed to be surprised. Rolling on a Thursday.
Which Golic?
I mean, you're trying with the son, with the father.
Well, the son, I just do a Sunday morning show with.
I know, but you are put this on the poll too. Is Stugatz an honorary Golic?
I am, actually.
I feel like you are.
No, I am. Actually, we did a whole ceremony.
I like the...
What do you mean? We did a whole ceremony? Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute.
I tried to stop myself. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Wait a minute. You did what do you mean a whole ceremony you did with the Golic?
Consummated it.
They consider me their adopted son.
Wait, what was the ceremony?
I was filling in for Greeny one day.
You're 44 years old.
Yeah, I was filling in for Greeny one day, and we were rolling on in the 8 o'clock hour, and Golic told me I had to eat a picture of his family. He had printed out a picture of his family on a piece of printing paper, and he said, if you eat this on air...
exactly the way I thought membership into the Golics worked.
Then you will become the adopted son of the Golics, and so I ate it on air. And then we moved on. Kept it rolling.
Wait a minute. We've been employing these weirdo Golics for a long time that have this weird family tribal ritual where you eat a picture of our family and you're a member of our family.
And then it's in there.
Yeah,
and it breaks off and it's in you forever. He can never get it out.
Yeah.
He's a Golic.
Does Mike Golic think eating is love? That families...
Yes.
Okay.
Moving on.
Let's play the sound of Steven Jackson just urinating all over Isaiah Thomas getting a tribute video.
Why is he even having a tribute video? I mean, he was only there 2 years. Maybe I think it's because Boston feel kind of bad at how things happen and how they traded him and stuff like that. But I don't think he deserves it. He was only there 2 years.
How can you say that?
Because I know a lot of players were putting up more numbers in 2 years on the team and didn't go back and get a tribute. KD didn't get one.
Well, KD did not get one. A lot of people thought that was a mistake by the Thunder.
But he didn't get one.
The Thunder answered and said, "We never do tribute videos for anyone."
That's a good answer.
We didn't do it for Kendrick Perkins. We're not going to do it for Kendrick
Right. If KD didn't get one, Isaiah don't
Do you
deserve
don't think that Isaiah was so central to that franchise over the last couple years that they deserve giving him a warm welcome and thanks for the memories when he comes back?
Well, if that's the case, we're going to see a lot of tribute videos coming up in the new years.
That's why I love him.
Great.
Who does that?
Great.
Everyone's sitting there. Everyone's patting Isaiah Thomas on the head, treating him like a keychain. And Steven Jackson's like, man, 2 years. You give me those shots, I would have scored like that too.
I love that the Levitard disciples' tentacles are reaching into other areas of this show, because in all of that was Amin making fun of the whole thing.
That's right. That's right.
Like, I mean, they're all doing a serious conversation about something that's not serious. And Amin's like, Kendrick Perkins.
If we can't do it for Kendrick Perkins, we can't do it for anybody. KD, you don't get a tribute video, but is he right? Like Isaiah Thomas. Here's one of the things I found fascinating about the entire Boston power structure is they turned Isaiah Thomas into someone who felt like a star or a superstar who is not a star or a superstar. He's a journeyman discard novelty who scored a lot because he got all the shots for Boston, but now Kyrie's getting all those shots and they're a better team.
Here you go hating again, Dan.
No, but am I not right?
Well, they're a better team, Dan. There's other things that have been added to that team that Isaiah did not have. He didn't have Jason Tatum. He didn't have this Jaylen Brown. There were certain things.
But Kyrie is better than Isaiah Thomas, yes or no?
Yes. But in a tribute video is not necessarily based on the numbers or all this other stuff. It's about what you meant to that organization.
And
I
city,
think, in that city. And I think, I think Isaiah deserves a tribute video. I'm more lenient than Steven Jackson, probably on most things, but particularly, tribute videos. Give everybody a tribute video. Use it to make fun of people. Like, that's more fun. That seems more NBA than like fighting over whether a guy deserves it or not.
Right. Well, not everyone, but I just what he went through personally himself, and then through the postseason with the Celtics last year, I think that is deserving of a
That's
video.
all well and nice, but Isaiah Thomas' greatest contribution to the Boston Celtics was being traded.
Yes. Was becoming good enough, Dan, to have enough value to get them Kyrie Irving.
But that's why he was hurt. He was hurt by it. Because the tribute video ignores how hurt he was by everything that happened there. And he came out publicly and had problems with management because he thought he deserved the loyalty that fan base was extending him.
Sure.
But I do think it's reasonable to ask, give me all the other guys who have been someplace 2 years and get something like a tribute video. Form that connection that strong where they would be worthy of something like that. Because Steven Jackson's right. You usually don't get that from 2 years. And he's applying his perspective there. Right. Steven Jackson was largely only in places 2 years.
Right.
And,
exactly.
I mean, he was there for that emotional family situation. Like, again, it's not about the numbers or the duration. It's what you mean to the franchise. And you can't name very many other players whose value was bringing you Kyrie Irving. That's a tribute video, and I disagree.
That's how it should have ended, though. The tribute video
so
should have ended with Kyrie walking into this. His introductory press conference, like, bang,
Isaiah walking out.
Isaiah's championship. Isaiah's championship is we got Kyrie, and we made you insane with anger after trading you, even though you played for us in the playoffs during the death of your sister.
That's why I want everyone to get a tribute video. And like, if there's a guy who just sat on your bench, show a 30-second tribute video when he comes back of him just sitting on your bench. Like, everyone who's ever been anywhere, we give him a tribute video.
That's good stuff. I'm wondering if you guys think, in all truth, that someone is being given the job at Disney, at the White House, of telling Kendrick Lamar that his halftime performance cannot go after Donald Trump, who is now, it is being reported, not by ESPN yet, but out of Atlanta, that Donald Trump is going to the national championship game. Is there someone who's going to go to Kendrick Lamar and say, not here, and how is that going to go over? Because I can't imagine Kendrick Lamar going through with a performance where they say, not here.
Don't you think that they talk to him before they sign whatever contracts? You're not, or not him specifically, but his people? Like, I don't imagine in this climate, given the persona that he has, that no one said anything before signing him that you cannot use this platform. We must approve everything you wear and everything you say. Even when Beyonce wore a beret, that like had, Black Panther iconography at halftime of the Super Bowl show, like that became a thing. I guarantee you that somebody either at ESPN or in the college football playoff system, someone's spoken to his people already about that they should get final approval
But do you think,
on everything.
you think he abides by it? You think he agreed to something?
You think he abides by it now?
No.
Like I think
the game's changed.
No,
too, right?
I think the game has changed, and I think we're headed towards something that's going to be a thing.
It's not binary. There are ways that he can make a statement that can be subversive in a way that gets his point across.
Well, Prince did that during a Super Bowl where he's doing phallic things. Have you guys ever seen the press conference with Prince where he walks in with the entourage to the Super Bowl and he just swaggers in with his whole band and interviewers, like they just stand at microphones like a normal press conference, and then an interviewer begins to ask a question and they just break into song, and that's their press conference, and then they leave. Like Kendrick is going to have platforms here to do things that are very Kendrick. And when you say we're at a specific moment in time and these two people, Kendrick Lamar and Donald Trump, are specific to that time, I mean, Kendrick Lamar right now is doing a lot of speaking for black people in a way that has reached white people. He is, I can't think of anyone he has replaced Kanye.
I mean, my point is that he could just wear like a 44 jersey, which is a subtle shot. It also should be a UCF jersey. Just throw that on top.
Roy just muttered, "Thank God." What happened? Roy, why did you mutter "thank God" about Kendrick replacing Kanye?
I can't with Kanye. I'm sorry. You marry a Kardashian, you expect to represent black people that way? No, I'm sorry. I can't. I'd rather have Kendrick.
Wait a minute. He's allowed to marry whomever he wants with love.
Okay.
But the Kardashians, I understand. It's a general objection to him becoming less Kanye West and more Kardashian.
Like Roy and I and all of black people do not have to accept one spokesperson if white people will not. Who's the white spokesperson?
No, that's all we'll allow right now is Kendrick Lamar.
Who's the white spokesperson?
No, we had a meeting.
Okay,
we had a meeting. Yes. Did nobody tell you about this?
Okay, that's fine.
We had a meeting. White people had a meeting. I wasn't there. I was told about it. White people had a meeting, and they said Kendrick Lamar is allowed to speak on behalf of black people. We will allow it.
Okay, well,
Trebek was there. Trebek allowed it.
As long as Eminem gets a freestyle.
Okay. Yes.
All right. At the black meeting, we decided on one person to represent all white people, and it's Matt Hasselbeck.
Okay, but the black meeting doesn't have the same power and reach as the white meeting.
Roll it on!
What?
That's right. White people decide this. They have throughout history. Don't take that away from us. We won't let you take anything away from us. And I'm not even us. I'm brown.
You were.
You're not taking...
Don Le Batard.
Do you refer to the yellow sauce at a hibachi restaurant as yum yum sauce? 57% of the audience said no.
Stugats.
Do you go ginger yum yum, yum 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 yum, or yum 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 yum? 38% of the audience said yum 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 yum. So they get 3 yum yum sauces. They ditch the ginger, get 2 yum yums with an additional yum yum. Second place was ginger yum yum. That Chris said earlier, no one goes ginger. 18% of the audience goes ginger. And 18% of the audience also goes yum yum. About that.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
Dominique, before the microphones came on here, Dominique Foxworth, he's a former cornerback. He ran the NFL Players Union. He was the COO of the NBA Players Union. He's with us all day today. And right before the microphones came on, he was about to say, he didn't finish the thought because the microphones came on, right, that we have to add to the grid of death a picture that somebody has to eat, a family picture, but I don't want to add it to the grid of death. I got right in front of me a picture of me and my father, and I was hoping that in a ritual that you would eat this.
Me or Dominique?
This picture. No, I was hoping, I want your allegiance to be at least equal. If you're just joining us, Stugats has become an honorary Golic because the Golics have a tradition of eating a family picture. That's how you become adopted into their family. And I am jealous because Stugats is flirting with the Golics and prefer to be, frankly, on their show. And if we're really being honest, replacing Trey Wingo. And he hasn't said that, but I felt it. No, he hasn't said it, but I felt it. And they had a family, the Golics, these weird ritualists.
I mean, it's true, though. I am always on your side, Stu, but in this incident, by swallowing the Golic picture, you have shown a little bit more allegiance to the Golic. So hand it to him, Dan.
Right.
So I have this picture.
But I drive here every day to do the show with Dan. Even though my drive to Bristol would be a shorter one, I still drive here every day to host the show with Dan, not Golic.
Right, but we are not family.
I mean, take a little piece, just a little bite, just to show us.
Well, no, why a little bite? How are we doing this? How are we doing this? I have a very large picture of me and my father.
Right. But this is not your family ritual. Do you have a family ritual?
Well, it is now, though. I kind of like it. I want to steal it from the Golics.
Oh.
I kind of like it. Even though it seems kind of pagan and maybe cannibalistic, I want to steal it from the Golics.
What would be a better ritual then? What is more, because eating is a very Golic-y thing. What would be a libertarian thing?
Well, I think he is now eating it out of my hand like a grazing animal of some sort. Oh, he is showing love. Oh, eat the picture. Yes. Glorious.
Terrible.
It does taste terrible.
All of it in there.
Tastes like, oof. That'd be an unpleasant thing to do. All right. Oof.
Swallow?
No, he's not going to swallow that. He's not going to swallow that. That's just chewed up. He can't swallow that. Look at it. No.
Look at this commitment, though. This man is committed.
Can he swallow that? Is it a good idea to swallow that? Is that going to come out in the toilet with my face on it? Isn't that a thing that happens when kids like swallow coins and stuff? You have to go searching through their poop to find it, to make sure that they're not like radioactive or contaminated or something?
No.
We don't go through poop to see if someone's eaten something?
No.
Is that, wait a minute. That's not a thing. What I just said, if your child, what just happened there?
I finished.
You just threw out a slobbered piece of my face on the floor.
That was just a slobbered piece.
Back in.
You're not the family. Oh, God. That one almost made me gag. He just picked up a saliva. I got a weak stomach, man.
Tear me off half of that, Stu. I want to get involved.
Oh, no. No, you're not going to do it.
You want to be a member of the family? Come on. I dare you. If you do this is worse than any grid of death punishment. There's no way you're going to do it. The fact that you're holding it.
I think I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. If he eats that piece of it.
I already ate the piece of
it. If he eats that piece of it. If he eats it out of your mouth, I will vomit. If you want me to vomit, if you want me to vomit on ESPNU right now, historically, we got a minute left.
Donnie, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this hand back in my mouth. I want you to grab it out of my mouth. Okay?
I'm not kidding.
There you go. I mean, I'm going to throw up.
I can't. Will we go to jail if he dies? Are we killing him? This was so real. There's actual vomit on the floor over there. This might have been the best TV segment ever.
He's crying.
Oh. Stu, you got to take the steering wheel. I don't think he's. Oh my gosh.
You want a piece, Dan? Well, we're family.
That was brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless.